This program is brought to you by the Media Liberty Alliance Foundation in cooperation with OBBM Network TV, bringing citizen-led, creative local media to the forefront of local communities to foster a greater understanding of constitutional liberty and appreciation of what makes us truly free, starting with beauty and me.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That way you're updated each time fresh content comes out. And thank you for being part of the Zach Ratliff Show.
The Zach Ratliff Show is sponsored by Mortgage Financial in Texarkana, Exceed Health Clinic, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org. Hello and welcome to the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. This is Chris and this is Elizabeth. How are y'all?
Good morning.
Good. We're doing good.
Hey, thanks for coming in. All right, Chris, tell us who you are and just kind of give us an intro of what you're doing. You're running for judge in Miller County.
Yes, sir. First off, thanks for having us.
Hey, man, thanks for being here. Yeah, it's
We
awesome.
appreciate it. Watched a couple of your shows. Actually, watched several of your shows, and
Okay.
I thought, man, I need to message this guy. he asked good questions, and
Yeah.
he seems or didn't seem to. Some of the folks you had on here, I thought, man, those phenomenal people. So, you are who you hang out with, in my opinion. So,
That's exactly right.
I wanted to, of course, I messaged you, and of course, you were more than kind and invited us on. So first off, I want to say appreciate that.
No, man, thanks for reaching out. And, there seems to be a slate full of candidates over there. So so I just kind of stayed out of it and just figured whoever wanted to be here will be here. And here you are.
Yeah, we try to seek out every opportunity to talk to folks and get the vision out there and so they can get to know us and know what we're about and see that we try to be good people and things such as that. But on who I am, I mean I'm a pretty simple guy. I spent 24 and a half years in the military, retired in 2024. Always knew that I wanted to be a part of the local political scene, but could never get really actively involved because it's illegal in uniform.
Right.
I mean, it's a good
big reason.
Yeah, that's the big reason. So earlier last year now, Elizabeth and I started praying about how we're going to do this and what we're going to do and at what level that we felt the Lord wanted us to be involved and what we needed to do, and just got pointed straight to the judge's seat, the Miller County judge's seat.
Okay.
And we talked about it and prayed about it for a couple months and started saying, okay, well, if we're going to do this, why are we going to do it? And then what are we going to do? So we started looking at the issues in the county and the surrounding area, and we started putting together a plan, doing some research, and our stuff's public. It's all on our campaign page at Facebook for Chris Redfearn for Miller County Judge. We are by far the most transparent candidate out there for sure.
Which is a nice turn of how, and I'm not even talking about Miller County so much as just when anybody thinks of candidates or elections anywhere, it's nice to have somebody that's just putting out there who they are. You're not trying to be somebody you're not.
Mm-hmm. So, and on that note, and the reason proof.
Yeah.
Proof's in the pudding, right? That's what my grandmother used to say, and I miss my granny was the finest human on the planet, but proof's in the pudding. So we try to add proof. I can write anything I want to on social media and say I can do this and I've done that.
Exactly.
But everything we've got out there, we have proof. And I realized we just met.
Yeah.
So I brought proof.
Hey, even better.
So you actually know who you're talking to.
Hey, I like it. Okay.
So we got pages and pages of proof to prove what we've done,
right,
and to prove our experience. So, but just on who we are, I'm Chris, and this is Elizabeth, as you say. We got 6 kids between us and 7 grandbabies and a beautiful great niece I call Pookie, and 50-acre farm here in Miller County out on 54.
Okay. She
trains horses. I know you think I would. The only horse training I do is when she needs somebody to ride the buck out of one, and I'm about too old for that.
Yeah. What kind of horses do you train?
I do show jumpers.
Okay.
So
my dad used to train reining horses.
Very nice.
And so I had never been on a jumping horse unless I wasn't ready for it. so I've done that a few times, but I had never done anything like actual show jumpers. So how long have you been doing that?
Oh my goodness. Since I was 8 years old, I've
Yeah.
been riding, but started my professional career when I was 22 years old.
Okay.
And I've been doing it for a little over 20 years now. So really enjoying it. I love it because it keeps me fit, it keeps me active, it keeps me grounded. But it also allows flexibility for me to be a mom and
Yeah.
a wife and really build foundation and be supportive of what my family's into, which is great.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, family, I mean, you guys are talking about family. Family's key. And then talking about horses, it just reminds me, the last time I was on a horse that jumped, we were riding through the Grand Mesa National Forest up in Colorado, and we'd taken our horses up there to go bow hunting. And we had 6 creeks, and I don't think on that ascent, I don't think my horse's feet got wet once. And
I need to find that one.
we jumped it every time, and I mean, I was pulling back, and like he would get to the edge, but you'd feel him. I'm like, he's about to launch, and then we'd do it again. It didn't matter how steep it was. We were jumping those creeks. Well, so from the family aspect of it, how's the campaign? How do you facilitate keeping the family together for a campaign? That seems like it'd be stressful to me.
Oh no, it's not stressful at all. We love people.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Our whole family loves people. We love. There's nothing more that we like more. I should say it like that, than going out and meeting people and finding out about their lives. So we taught our kids there's only 3 things in this world that are never out of place. Did you know that?
Oh, let's hear it.
Kindness, respect, and manners.
Oh, I like it.
Those 3 things are never out of place.
Right.
So we like people. We like being around people. The whole family's involved in the campaign. Everybody, we go out, we meet people. We drive around. I drive all the roads in Miller County. Me and her do. I think we've driven every road here twice, probably 3 or 4 times. To be honest, 900 miles of road. But the really cool thing about having the family involved is that they're involved.
Right.
They talk about it. They talk, and it's not just. I mean, I'm obviously driving the vision and driving, the things that we're going to be doing, but they are picking up on the things that they see. They come in and they're like, Dad, hey, I saw this today, or I was talking to this person today, and we 4 grown kids, 2 kids still in school, so. They see life's problems,
right?
They see like, hey, this is happening, or have you heard about that, or somebody asked me this question, or somebody asked me to relay this question to you. Be sure to call them and answer the question for them.
Right.
So the thing is we just want to prepare Miller County for tomorrow.
Sure.
We know. Okay, well, that kind of leads into what I just wrote down. You said you see the same vision. What is the vision for Miller County? Because, let me tell you the way I understand it. Now, I don't live over in Miller County, and for those of you listening that aren't from around here, we mention it every now and then, but we're a border city, so we have a Texarkana, Texas, Texarkana, Arkansas, and so that's the way it works. We have listeners in, I think, 37 states now and 11 countries, so I kind of have to explain them where we are. But so for Miller County, the way I understand it is, you guys are running out of money, so we got to fix that somehow, right? But people and tell me if I'm wrong, because I could very well be.
Well, you're not wrong, but you're not right.
Okay, because I think the spend is the issue at times.
Yeah.
But then it's like, what can we work? Anyway, could you just kind of go into that for me? But while setting your vision.
Sure. So, but before I get into that, how many states did you say you were in?
37.
37 states? Well, that's amazing. So I want to invite everyone out there that's listening to come to Texarkana, Miller County, here in Arkansas, and go camping down at Smith Park.
I love Smith Park.
You will not be disappointed. A vision for that is to really recognize Smith Park, or for Miller County, is I really want to push. Smith Park is really kind of a pearl of Arkansas. Yeah. It's definitely a pearl of this region.
When you even said Mercer Bayou earlier, which is at Smith Park, which I put a boat in there and run a scum frog across those lily pads many times. I mean, it's paradise down there.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. But I want to invite all you guys out there that are listening. Hey, if you don't come on vacation here, that's fine. But on your way through, stop down there at the park and see, and really take time in Texarkana. Go to downtown.
Right.
Go visit. We got some historic sites down here. We got the Falk The Falcon Monster.
Yeah, you got the Falcon Monster. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, go get a picture down at Falcon with the Falcon Monster. So, but anyway, that's a personal invitation from Elizabeth and I, just to invite everybody from all these other states just to come see what a wonderful place this is, and how just the people here.
You know,
really good people.
That's exactly right. And I've moved away from here 6 times, but it's always home and always come back. And
I love that.
I'm a Texarkana apologist. I love being from here. I'm not ashamed to have put my family here and my life here and everything that I'm doing. There's so much here that there is to offer that this is a great area of the country.
It's a phenomenal area. I have a pastor friend that says you can see the world from here.
Absolutely.
It's just a beautiful place. And it's Texarkana, USA. You know, it's not Texarkana, Arkansas, Texarkana, Texas, but it's Miller County. You know, and it's more specific to what we're talking about. It's Miller County. But my vision and goals for the county itself is one that's united, not divided.
Okay.
One that works together, not against each other. So what we have, especially in the national political scene, and it's starting to creep in. You can see it across America, and you can even see it across Arkansas and Texas. What's starting to creep in is a left-wing liberal agenda that's just starting to take small bites.
Right.
And we've got to protect those school boards. We've got to protect those justice of the peace. Of course, the county judge. You know, I'm here. I want to protect the county judge seat. But one of the most important things we have to protect and get out there, and we'll talk about voting in a minute, but is those JP seats and those school board seats and those city director seats, those small town mayor seats.
All of those are important.
Influential leaders, for
just
sure.
how important it is to protect it for the next generation. But my vision and goal for to give the kind of the cliche answer, or cliche answer, not cliche, cliche answer is, one of transparency. Everybody's going to say that.
Right.
One of fiscal responsibility. Everybody's going to say that.
I don't know if everybody says it on the fiscal responsibility side.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Me too. It's a big deal.
I mean,
It's a big deal.
If they do, they don't understand what it means.
Yeah, no, they don't. When you start you start approving budgets that are deficit budgets, what I call them, and Miller County Quorum Court they don't have a deficit budget.
Right.
But those positions, my vision for Miller County is one where the justice of the pieces and the judges, or the judge, and all the local elected officials, from the mayors to the treasurer to the assessor, all of them work together in a united front with one goal in mind, and that is the betterment of the life of the citizens of Miller County.
Yes.
What a novel concept, right?
What a novel concept, right?
Because in anything, it doesn't matter if you're running for dog catcher.
Right.
You get your little piece, and then what I see is, not you, but people grab that, and whatever little bit of power that goes with that, they're going to do everything they can to hold on to it, and then lose the vision of representing the people that elected them, and so then it's lost. And then people are, I guess you could say, unsatisfied. I don't know how to say it. With that, because you're so worried about your power, whatever, even if it's over nothing, that you won't work with everybody else for the I hate to say the greater good, because I don't want to sound like a commie, but for the overall betterment of the county. Am I off base there?
No, you're exactly right. Go ahead, sweetie.
When you were speaking just a minute ago, one of the things that just sunk right into me was, Chris has been a leader and a world changer before ever running for Miller County Judge. And so when I look at him as a candidate, I think about those things, because it's not just a situation or a position that is in the moment, something I want to do, or, it's just a job. It's not something that's a last minute thought. He has been molding his life and his character for a moment like this to give back to the local community and to our people after serving the country for 24 years. So his skill set of understanding those concepts in servitude without pushing his own agenda is already refined.
Yeah.
It's already understood. It's so innately in him that in a moment of an emergency situation or a situation where somebody would immediately need to call on him to make a very powerful decision, he's going to be able to do it with clarity and with understanding and with discernment and not pushing anything of an ego or a motive, because he's already been so trained to do the right thing for the right reason at the right time with integrity.
Well,
Because there's no other way.
That's right. Well, the ability to process quickly and clearly without panic. Golly, that's key. And that's what 24 years of military will bring to you. Kind of tell us about that. You did 3 tours. What'd that look like? How, I guess let's go into that. How'd that, in my mind, it prepares you to do exactly what Elizabeth just said.
Yeah, of course, she's my biggest advocate. And
everybody needs one.
And we're a team. What does a combat tour look like?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was in Iraq in 2004 with a great group of guys from the Bravo Company, better known as Blackfoot. And if you're out there, you caught the shout out to you, and they'll be listening.
Yeah.
It's different. You learn several things, and one of the things you learn the most is the quality of infrastructure determines the quality of life in a disaster. A prepared community, in which is what we will get, what we will work toward, is one that saves lives in disasters. When you've seen, I've been around the world, I've been in all kinds of countries and all kinds of situations. True leadership failures happen in preparation.
Absolutely.
When you have a local government of any kind, a local entity of any kind, or a local organization of any kind that fails to prepare to take care of its people during a disaster, they have failed their people. And so in that, just to move on from that, because I can get lost going down that road.
You go where you want to go. We'll go with you.
With my comrades in arms and my brothers and sisters, but I'm the only candidate in this race that has true experience with the Department of Military Support. Because I was the non-commissioned officer in charge of training and facilitating the response from the Guard in Little Rock when the civil disturbance it was downtown. I'm the one that was there that processed them to go to assist Louisiana during the hurricane. I was there, and I'm sure these other candidates are fine people. I didn't know any of them before this race except for one.
Right.
And so I don't have any rocks to throw because I don't have time. I've got too much other stuff.
Yeah, you're worried about doing business.
I'm worried about doing business. So I do want to say I think they're probably really good people, because anybody that steps up and says, hey, I'll serve, they're going to get my respect until they lose it.
Right, yeah.
But no one has the experience that I have. Just the diversity of life that the Lord has used to prepare me for such a time as this in this world, to lead this county at such a pivotal point. And there's a reason why it's important right now. This county judge race is the most important race in the history of Miller County. And here's why. The level of industry, the level of revenue, the level of resources, the level of responsibility that's coming into this county through the hard work of people in this county. Right? When you start talking about this lithium coming in and the hundreds of billions of dollars of profit that company is going to take, you have to have somebody that's been in the room with these top powerful people and negotiated 10s, 20s, 30s, $100 million deals, and I have.
Right.
I've sat in with foreign governments on meetings, and I've negotiated and
that's a skill set that's learned, not just.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you've got it, that's a.
If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. But the biggest thing is from day one we get to work. We get to work. I'm not going to allow, should the people of Miller County elect me judge, I'm not going to allow our citizens to lose in these negotiations.
There you go.
We're not paying. They're already making money.
Right.
And here's the thing. I know these people.
Right.
I don't know personally the ones that come in.
Yeah, but
I've met
the
with
type.
I've met with them. I've talked with them. I've negotiated with them. they expect to pay. They expect to pay the bill. They're going to come in and try to keep $101 billion instead of just $100 billion.
Right.
You know, and they expect pushback. You can't go in to a negotiation like that thinking that, well, the work population, the workforce in Texarkana is not the only place in Miller County, but it's kind of how everybody describes Miller County.
Right.
So in Miller County.
Yeah, but it's going to impact all of Miller County.
We don't have a weak workforce.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're losing employees 30 days, 40 days after they start, if you do it continuously, you may need to check your leadership.
Right.
You may need to check your management.
Right.
You know, and of course, football season, it's almost coming to an end this year. And how many coaches are getting fired around the world? Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's the way it works, right?
You know, you have all this talent out here, but you fail to manage it right. You know, the coach is the one that gets the boot because people can see the talent.
Right.
So where I work at, we just had a job announcement, right?
Okay.
In the last 45 days. Over 100 people applied for one job.
Wow.
You can't tell me that the workforce in Miller County, which is the unemployment rate's a little over 5%, which is higher than the average in Arkansas, and it's higher than the national average. Our brothers and sisters in this county want to work. They want a job.
Right.
They want to move forward. So you can't tell me that we have a weak workforce. You can't tell me that. Well, let me say it like this: if that's your mentality anywhere in the world about anybody, how are you going to negotiate for their improvement?
Right. How are you acting for them when you already don't believe in them?
Yeah, if you don't believe in them. I mean, I've met with one of the local universities. I've met with contractors about roads, just trying to make sure that we have the right knowledge. So. To start on day one, and we can get into that, but I'm just you got me on my passion now, which is the people of Miller County, and being able to stand up and saying, no, you're not doing that to our people. Well, you're not coming in here taking our resources and taking from us.
If you want to add to us, then that's different.
If you want to partner with Miller County, if you want to be a part of Miller County and move Miller County forward on a shared basis. Then we'll negotiate with you and we'll talk to you. But if you think you're going to come in here and push us around and do whatever you want and leave, then you've got the wrong county.
Well, passion is what what people are looking for now. Maybe structured passion, right? And I believe that's what you're saying through your career and through that you have. But passion is what's lacking so often in many of these things. People are like, oh, they're just, like you say, just doing it for a job, just doing it because that's the next thing you're supposed to do, just doing it for name recognition, just doing it because it could lead to a good business contact later on. All that doesn't matter. If you're passionate about what you're going to do, and then you have the good sense to actually back that passion up, well, now we can have a goal. We can go forward. We can strive. We can make it better for the citizens of Miller County, which in turn helps the citizens of Bowie County. Right. And you know, all the other things. If you can grow that, well, then you can see a $100 billion company come in, and then they understand the vision that's there, and then that'll grow. And then, you know, there's new neighborhoods going in Miller County, and that'll expand. Then your tax base will expand, and then there will be more things that you can do for the county. Right. But it takes somebody with a clear vision and passion, not just doing it because they think that's the next thing on their checklist.
Right. You have to have a clear vision, but you also have to have a selfless service attitude and heart. And what I mean by that is I'm retired from the military.
Right.
My health insurance set for life, my retirement set for life. I'm not doing this for another job.
Right.
I have a great job. The company I work for, I have a great job with great people. But the last leadership training, and I went to a lot of leadership trainings, but the senior level leadership training I went to in the military was a number of years ago, or a few years ago. There was a video, and on this video, and I'm going to say her name. I haven't reached out to her for her to endorse me. You know, this isn't anything, but I took something away from what she said, and it was Condoleezza Rice, and they were playing a video. She wasn't there live, and the video was at some point in her life. It wasn't that day.
Right.
It wasn't a live feed. And she said this, and the video was longer, but I took this, and I actually have my green notebook, and I wrote it down. I have that at the house. She said this, and it's not going to be a direct quote, but this is what she said. She said, "For all you in uniform, you'll at one point retire. And once you retire, and you find yourself not needing money, living in a community you love, give back."
Yeah.
She said, give back if you find yourself that you need nothing from them. Run for a public office. She said, I don't care which one.
Right.
Run for a public office and give back. Because then and only then you can truly say, I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. And we can, without any reservation, say, I don't want anything from the people except their vote.
Right. Yeah.
I want their vote.
That's the important one.
But I'm not going to be a career politician.
Right.
You know, we're going to do what we believe the Lord has directed us to do here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do it with integrity. We're going to do it with passion. We're going to do it with drive. And we're going to do it all out. We're not going to hold anything back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not in any piece of our life. We're not holding anything back.
Well, you know, one thing I've heard you both reference a couple times is, well, I guess maybe I inferred it, but you said the Lord, and then you talked about discernment, and then you know, so faith seems like a central pillar of what you're about.
It is the pillar.
Oh,
There's
is.
no other.
Okay.
So I was at an event the other day, and this lovely lady, she's a little older than I am. Anyway, she asked me, and she walked up and sometimes you get a question that catches you off guard, but it's
right.
not a hard question, and it wasn't a deceitful question. She just walked up and said, "Are you a conservative?"
Right.
I just looked at her and grinned. I said, "I'm a Christian.
Right.
I'm a Christian first.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm a conservative, but I'm a Christian first."
Right. Oh,
I mean,
you know,
that's just the truth. You know, I'm a Christian first.
well, you know, that's my thing. And I say this all the time on the show. I have a few things that I am. Number one, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus. He's the way. And I fail him. But I strive not to. After that, I'm a dad to a little girl.
Oh,
you know, that's the next most him. Then I'm a dad. Then I'm a son. Mm-hmm. And after that, somewhere. Yeah. Then I can worry about being a conservative, and we can go down the list. But I appreciate that you saying that, because if that's your priorities, well, then your life will be set towards that. Not that you hit it all bullseye every time.
I wish I did.
But that's what you're striving to do. I mean, that says a lot about a person. You keep talking about integrity, and that's part of it. Mm-hmm. But even coming in and saying that's who you are and that's what you do. Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Mm-hmm. That's the way it should be, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. So, you know, I come from a world where integrity is the thing,
right?
You know, you got the Army values and integrity's right there: selfless service, honor. I don't see that in politics.
No,
I wish it was. Now, I'm not saying anything about the folks that are campaigning.
No, just on the
as a whole.
But you know, and I'm not.
If you'll take one line of something someone says and try to make it a doctrine or use it against them, just because in a sum total of 500 words, you found 4 of them that you could string together.
Yeah.
And now you've got an attack on someone.
Yeah, paint a different picture with those words.
A different picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and that's the thing, and it even happens locally. You know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can be like, oh, I saw the way Chris was dressed, and golly, I don't think those shoes match that jacket. Like, what does that even have to do with anything? But it's just putting disparaging things out there to create whatever doubt you can. Mm-hmm. And then let that seed fester. And so that's what happens. But when somebody approaches it with integrity, that's all the time. You just said, here's what I'm going to do. Here's who I am. Mm-hmm. Here's where my foundation is. And that's key. If you have principles, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. If you can hear somebody's principles, then you know where it doesn't, well, kind of, you know, I've never been in combat, but if you know these principles, these are what you're going to do. When everything hits the fan, you know you're going to go back to those principles is what I would expect.
Yeah, so in the Army, you fall back to your training.
Right.
You train this muscle memory, and, you know, of course, we can go off for days on that. But when everything goes haywire, it's still flank right, flank left, go straight. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Because those are the principles that are drilled into you. And so if you're standing on principles, no matter what happens in Miller County on good days and bad days, if you can go back to your principles, everybody knows the kind of leadership that they're going to get.
Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, kind of going into what's the state of Miller County now, and maybe lay out for those who don't exactly know quorum court versus county judge, and let's kind of get a vision of what that is before we go into what you're going to do day one.
Sure. So right now I see the local government in Miller County as not unified. Of course, it's coming up on elections, and everybody's trying to get reelected or whatever.
Everybody jumps in line around election time.
I want to be careful because I want to build a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think they're all good people. I just think they kind of found a sore, and started to scratch. And I think there's some offense between some of the elected officials throughout Miller County with each other.
Yeah.
And not saying all of them. I'm just saying that they're mad at this person. They're mad.
Well,
at that
you
person.
get a group of people together. Some of them aren't going to like each other, and some of them are going to find something wrong just because it doesn't. Whether it's in this office where we are, wherever it is, that just happens.
Yeah, you get 5 people together, you end up with 10 opinions.
That's exactly right.
So, but with that, I think the quorum court and the current judge and the other elected officials, the clerk, the assessors, the treasurer, the collector, the sheriff, doing a great job. I think individually they're probably all doing a good job. But I think there's some strife that I can kind of feel when you walk into the courthouse.
Right.
Or the words, and I'm not going to talk about that. Again, they're good people.
Well, and some of that's inherent in the job because everybody has their agenda and they're trying to do maximize what they can do with what they've got, and that could border up on pushing on something else. So, I mean, some of that they aren't trying to. It's just self-generating, right?
Yeah, and they were elected.
Yeah.
Because of things they said, that they would do, and they're trying to uphold that. Well, that's rubbing against this one over here. So by no means am I talking derogatory about them. I'm just saying that it just seems disunified.
Well, it's like if somebody's you're running for class president, somebody says, "Hey, we're going to put a free Coke machine in every room." This person's like, "Hey, we're going to have to go up on the parking lot fees to be able to afford these Coke machines." It's got to balance out somewhere.
You got that one getting free Cokes, and this one promising lower fees, and now you got the rub, and that's the best way to describe it. And that's the rub. That's where I think we're getting some disunity. So as far as the quorum court, I don't know if everybody knows what a quorum court.
I don't think they do.
Does. They pass ordinances. So the way and the quorum court to me is probably the JPs, Justice of the Peace. I refer to as JPs. To me, it's important. It's important who you elect there because they're the ones who actually vote on, present. They approve the budget.
Right.
They approve the expenditures.
Right.
What I say is this: your voice in local county government is your justice of the peace.
That's exactly right.
That's your voice. So the judge is the county's voice, right, to the state or the federal or outside agencies and things such as that. And they oversee the court, but they don't have a vote.
The vote of our local government is the most important vote that U.S. citizens can have and utilize. Because that is the start of their voice.
Right.
Now, and when people think judge, and I explain this quite a bit, they think you're sitting in a robe with a gavel and you're in jail or
night court.
Night court.
That's right.
Judy or something. Or that judge, he just passed away from Providence. I think it's Providence, Rhode Island.
The older guy?
The older guy.
Yeah, that he would. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, he's always was fair. It looked like to me.
He's certainly on the videos. He was for sure.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting videos out, I'm going to be fair on them too.
Oh yeah. That's what that edit's for.
That's exactly right.
I always look good on video.
Your suit kind of looks like Dr. Evil right now from Austin Powers. Like
$1 million.
Yeah.
So fun.
But the judge does sit on some like landlocked there's some realty, some tax appeal, property tax appeal stuff. There is some of that, but it's just
right. But overall,
it's the chief executive officer of the county.
Right,
is what it is. So, like the city's budget, I don't have anything to do with this. Neither does Quorum Court, Texarkana City or City of Falk. We don't have anything to do with their budgets. That's their individual elected leaders from the city, or from their respective cities.
Right.
Know. So, the road department is huge in the county.
Right.
That's a huge concern. And don't get me wrong, there's a reason we've driven every road in the county probably twice now, or maybe even 3 times.
Well, that's an undertaking just on its own, big. Right?
Yeah, and I've got some big ideas that I probably won't get into today because they're pretty controversial. I say not controversial. I just got to get more data.
Right. Well,
I spent all weekend meeting. That's not all weekend. I spent a lot of the weekend meeting with
the majority of your weekend. Yes, you did. I can tell you.
With contractors.
I got like 2 texts from you because we were both busy.
With contractors on how to improve road, how we get the cost down, what can we do, and we'll publish the plan. We're going to publish it before the election.
Right.
This is I'm not going to I'm not going to be the day after the election. Oh well, that plan didn't work.
You got to pass it to see it.
Yeah, you got to pass it to see it. Yeah. So we're going to get it out there, if nothing else, in bullet points. Because I've got, this is just my qualification, folks.
Right.
I've got binders full of data on the roads and.
You mean you're not just going to show up and fly by the seat of your pants and just figure it out?
No.
Oh man, what a crazy concept!
Easy,
yeah.
Right? But. And then there's other things that, you have the Office of Emergency Management.
Well, that's what you were talking about, being qualified to be on that, just from your history of military.
That's just one piece of it. I got and I actually got permission to say this because it was very private years ago. I say very private. It was private. So right after Sandy Hook, so I'm a certified anti-terrorism force protection officer.
Okay.
So right after Sandy Hook, fear ran through this nation,
right,
especially in the elementary schools.
Yep.
So what I did is I spent about 6 months writing security plans for local schools.
That's awesome.
And then I went and presented them to them, and they enacted them. And I say that I didn't do all schools because some schools had resource officers, so I didn't need it. So
wait a minute. So you were giving to the community before ever. Running for Miller County Judge.
We were giving way back then. So, and I didn't even think about it, right? We did it. I didn't tell my leadership, right? It's something I did out on the weekend.
It's just naturally wanting to serve and help people.
So one of those principles.
I just wanted to throw that out there because that's one thing that I just love about you is because you've been doing things like this and no one's ever really known or seen because you are so humble about it. You don't walk around and tell people that you do all these things. But as your wife, I get the opportunity to know all these things behind the scenes, and I get to know all of these really neat qualities that you bring to the table that if people listen and they get to know you and ask you questions and interact with you, they will start being able to get by natural conversation because you are so relatable when you talk to people that you will unveil a part of what your giftings are to this position without ever having to broadcast it or promote it on a really big bullet point of boom, here's this, and this. So it's just fun. I love that. I love that aspect of it.
Well, it's neat to see when that's who someone truly is, right? And that's what you've had the privilege of seeing is that Chris, that's who you really are, or it seems to be. And so people like that don't feel the need. You don't have to go around waving a tambourine trying to get everybody's attention because that's just you being you. But then that's good for someone that wants to be a county official because once again, and you've already said this a couple times, it's not about you. It's about the county. It's for the people. It's to grow. It's to make everyone's life better just by doing what your skill set you feel like has equipped you to do. Don't let me misspeak, but I think
no, you're exactly right. and one of the principals wrote a letter to my command, and they, unbeknownst to me, and they kind of played a joke on me because we were in all combat together, and anyway, I end up in an office, and they're like, "Yes, is there something you want to tell us?"
I don't think so.
No, not that I know of. So, what you been doing down there? And I was like, "Sir, I don't know what we're talking about." So they awarded me the Outstanding Military Volunteer of the Year award.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, or service medal. So not of the year service medal. That's what it was. So I sent a copy of it to that principal. It's like, hey, thank you so much. You didn't have to. So someone asked me, hey, you need to be telling people that you did this. You got all these awards. You need to take. You got this award. Why? How does it attach to the judge's job? It's hard.
Right.
It's hard because those things are very private.
Yes.
So I actually messaged that principal's retired now, Miss Kathy, and I messaged her the other day, and I'm like, "Hey, is it okay if I share this?"
Right.
And of course, she was.
Yeah, of course, yeah. To make it happen.
Please do. So Kathy, if you're listening, thank you for writing the letter back in that day, and thanks for putting that force protection, that security plan in at the school, and they're still using it today. Every time I go down there.
But once again, it was about helping take care of people of your community. Which is what I'm getting from this interview is that's what you want to do. You're not doing this to have your face on a sign or name on a billboard. It seems to me that you're doing it because you want for the betterment of Miller County and for its citizens. But once again, I'm not your spokesperson, but that's just what's coming off to me, and I just want to make sure that I'm glad
it's coming off that way. Yeah. That's the way it is. So we're fully financed by the Chris and Elizabeth's campaign fund, which comes out of Chris and Elizabeth's checking account, except for like $270 that someone had given us, or two different folks had given us, but we haven't asked for money.
Yeah.
Right. Which crazy. Yeah. Right? Well, I didn't know you were allowed to do that anymore, not ask for money.
Right. And I got friends like, man, you need to have a fundraiser, blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, we're going to.
Doesn't feel like us.
Right.
I'm going to hold a meet and greet. That's what I'm going to hold.
Let me know whenever that comes, and I'll make sure and put it on my page and get it out there for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. That. Well, let me ask you this. So we've kind of gone through who you are, and I think we got a good feeling about you. That being said, I guess, let's handle this two ways. First of all, if you go, I want to talk about what is... When you get, primary's March 3rd.
Primary's March 3rd. Early voting starts February 17th.
Okay.
So everyone out there, let's vote on the 17th, the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Right. Let's win early. Let's get this done so we can get to work on something else.
And so then we got March 3rd. Then we have to get to November for the rest of the election. But so let's say we get through that, win March 3rd, win November. What is day 1, 2027? What's that look like?
January 1.
Yeah.
Day 1, January 2027. Well, this is the first thing I'm doing the moment I swear in. And some people like this and some people won't.
Perfect.
The first thing I'm doing is I'm joining hands with my wife, my family, and my supporters that are there at the swearing in. And we're praying over Miller County.
Golly, I love it.
And this is the prayer. And you're like, oh, you're rehearsing a prayer. I'm not rehearsing a prayer. I'm rehearsing what I'm going to ask for.
Yeah,
I want to go with just like I'm coming to the county with clear comments and clear direction. I'm going to approach the throne room with a clear request, and I know it will honor it. And that's that we serve with the heart of David. We govern with the wisdom of Solomon, and we approach each day with the tenacity of Daniel.
I mean, those three things there. I mean,
that's how we're starting out, and then we're going to go right to work, getting things done.
I mean, that's awesome. So, I mean, that to someone like me, that brings hope in just the message, right? I mean, the heart of David. the Bible holds him as the only person to have had a full heart for God, right? The wisdom of Solomon, God was going to give him anything he ever wanted, and he asked for wisdom, so he became the richest man to ever live. And it kind of went south on the end. But overall, and then Daniel, I mean, that story tells itself, to lay down with lions and not even worry about it because you're protected. So all of that.
And in Daniel chapter 1, verse 8, which is my favorite scripture in the Bible, and don't get me wrong, the rest of them are my favorite.
Yeah, go ahead.
And so Daniel chapter 1, verse 8, and I'm going to set the setting for this before I say it. There's 3 million Jews in the Jewish nation enslaved in Egypt. 3 million. Daniel was a teenager.
Yeah.
And Daniel said, or Daniel chapter 1, verse 8 says, Daniel purposed in his heart not to defile himself with his portion of the king's meat.
Right.
Daniel decided not to eat. 4 people didn't eat. 3 million said it was okay.
Right.
The world said it was okay. For that one teenage boy, it wasn't okay.
Well, here's what's funny about you saying that. When you said, I'm going to say this, and some people are going to like it, and some people aren't, immediately I thought, when you're taking the right stand, that's the way it always is.
Yeah, and I don't want to offend.
Nothing you said is offensive. Yeah.
The gospel's not offensive, and that's where I'm running for Miller County Judge. But the gospel's not offensive. Being a Christian is not being offensive with your beliefs. You don't go out here and scream hatred at people.
No.
The word works. The word works. I want everybody to go to church.
Yeah.
I want everybody to go to a Bible believing, word preaching church. I want everybody to. I don't care what spectrum you're on of the ideological whatever. Right. You can be the complete left wing, whatever, hate everybody, or you can be a complete right wing and hate everybody too. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Go to church because the word is the only thing that's going to change it.
Right. The word is the only thing that's unchanging.
It's unchanging, but it's the only thing that's going to change. Let me say it like this. Mm-hmm. If me talking to you would bring you to my side.
Right. Everybody do that.
Everybody do it. It ought to be working.
Yeah.
It ought to be working.
Right.
But we started doing that instead of bringing them to church.
No, I mean, you're exactly right.
I mean, so, and I realize we're here talking about running for Miller County Judge. We're
here to let people know who you are, and I think that's what they're getting. Yeah.
I'm passionate about a lot of things. One of them is this county.
Yeah.
And the other one is the lives of people. And I don't care where they're at in life. If you're sick, go to a hospital.
Right.
If you're on this planet, go to church. I'm not saying if you're sick, go to church. If you're on this planet, go to church.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, let me ask you this. So as we go back into this, and
I'm sorry.
No. Don't be sorry. I like where we are. I don't want to drag you too far in it because I have a tendency to do that.
Yeah.
And but with where we are and with getting stuff back, what is the current? And we've hit this a little bit. What is the current state of Miller County? And then how do we show people how important it is to vote? Okay. In the primary, because I think that's the main concern.
It's the main concern
because we're in an off presidential year election, and we need people to understand that local government matters. Local government affects you every day. Not that the federal government doesn't, but it's fun to play around with that. It's fun to talk about that. But who's on your school board? Who's your JP? Who's your county judge? They're making decisions that affect everything you do every single day. From having to get your tires rotated more often or get your shocks done because your roads are bad to, if there's an extra tax on the county for whatever it may be. These are the elections that we directly pay for every single day.
Mm-hmm. So, on the county, the status of the county just is, from financially, it's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible. The current quorum court over the last few years has really got some reserves stuck back. I want to get it to 5.5 million. It's not quite right there yet.
Okay.
On a reserve fund, and there's a reason why I think that number is important. The biggest reason is I can pay all the bills for about 8 months.
Right.
Should everything go sideways.
Right.
But that's one. But we've got some good. We got some good justices out there.
Right.
So they're very physically responsible so far. I think the Texarkana, the city itself is on a slimmer budget. than the county because they have their own budget, which I don't have anything to do with.
Right,
Just physically, I think. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job. I'm just saying that
no, they just operate on their own. Yeah,
their expenditures are really closer than the counties.
Right.
On income and outgo. The county, however, will probably run a surplus again this year.
Okay.
And it's not a mind blowing surplus.
It's better than a deficit, though.
But it's better than a deficit.
Right.
And that's the one thing I will never approve. So that's the one power you get is the veto.
Right.
Or not the one power. One of the powers you get as a judge is I will never approve a deficit budget.
Right. Okay.
I think that's interesting that you just said that. That was like one of the strongest things that you had to kind of word back around and wrap around to clarify. So when people listen, that you obviously understood that that's not the only power that you would have in that position as the judge, but that was a very poignant part. Like, you will not run into a deficit.
No, I will not.
Yeah.
I will not sign. I'll veto. I will not. And to the justices out there, if you're listening, the ones who are running, just know that's a red line with me. I will not put the.
It should be a red line with every elected official.
It should be. But I just want to make sure that there's people say I'll die on that hill, right? So, I won't. I will not do deficit spending.
Perfect.
It's just I just won't do it.
Anybody that's like, oh, that's crazy, they need to reevaluate where they stand. In my opinion,
I agree.
That isn't your words. That's my words. Like, why would you want deficit?
Mm-hmm. So I would not. That's a. But on that note, though, no one's asking for it.
No, that's right.
There's nobody asking for deficit spending. I put it out there. It's not a political point. It is a budget point.
Right.
There will be no deficit budget. But on the voting thing, here recently in Texarkana itself, and of course Texarkana is the biggest city in Miller County, less than 1,000 people voted.
Yeah.
600 for, 300 against, something like that. Those numbers are not exact, but those are just round numbers. So you had less than 1,000 people decide to spend your money.
Isn't that a wild concept?
To me, that's and I want to talk about the importance of voting.
Right. Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's. What if I came and got your checkbook and went and spent your money?
Right. That's what's happening.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Don't let. And this is for the primary, right? So and we're as red as we're going to get, right? Down here.
Yeah. Right.
So the Republican that wins the Republican primary is going to win in November.
Right.
Let's just up jump something that is insane, which it's not going to happen. But you have to. You need to vote. You need to educate yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't vote because just some. If they're not transparent,
right,
running a campaign, are they going to be transparent as a government?
No, that's exactly right.
If you're sitting out there complaining about a government that's not transparent and it's not, and people got in the election season, everybody's got something to say.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
If they're currently in the office, or if they've been part of this government for the last 20 years,
or if they've been in a government office already.
Yeah. What?
Yes.
And you see the government, the office of government that you're voting for as a problem. Why would you vote for someone? It's insanity.
Right.
Why would you do that?
But it's more than that. To me, it's even. Look, I understand we got to get little Jimmy to basketball and little Susie to dance and all the things and go pay the bills and milk's up and gas is up. Well, gas is actually down, milk's down. But you know what I'm saying? You got life to handle. Mm-hmm. However, why would you not, like you said, why would you not want to say in the way your money's spent? Okay, so let's say it takes 2 hours. Yeah. And it won't. But let's say it takes 2 hours. Is however much money the county's going to spend on your behalf not worth 2 hours? And especially if it's somebody that works at, Smith Blair or something like that, and you're making $20 an hour. Mm-hmm. So $40. Is that, I promise you that 2 hour vote's going to be worth more than $40 when it comes to county spending. Yeah. So is it not worth that 2 hours to go affect everything?
Right.
Well, I was going to say, I think our local business owners and businessmen and corporations would probably approve of people going out to vote for you because getting
Only for me.
Yes. No, but really
No, I'm just
though,
teasing.
getting you in office is going to
Oh, yeah.
allow a voice to encourage bringing growth financially to this area
Yeah.
with businesses and opportunities and just the big picture, the big vision of what is possible for our county. Please.
Yeah, if you've never been
come vote.
outside of this area, you don't even know what's out there in the world to bring in.
Right.
I mean, we can search on the internet, we can do all kinds of things, but if you've never been out and about, you
Yeah.
don't know what's out and about.
You don't know what you're missing.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't know what you're missing. But on the voting, don't let the same 200 or 300 people that have decided the primaries for the last 50 years be the people who decide the primaries. Right. And I'm not scared. We have tons of support.
Right.
But I want
just
your
be a part of the
voice heard.
system.
I want your voice heard. I think we should have 30,000 people turn out.
Yeah. Oh man, wouldn't that be awesome?
That would
That'd be awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to win by 30,000 votes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead. Just landslide it, baby.
Just a landslide. And we're being funny, but it's true. Your vote matters. It's be a part of the process. But the real deal is why are you going to let less than 1% of the population decide?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Decide, and like you said, take your checkbook and write a check for you. That nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that, and you don't want it in the government either. I mean, you get, and one thing we're going to do is we're going to engage the younger generation. And we already have.
That's key. Well, we see Generation Z coming back to church and getting involved in politics, and which is a good thing, right? I mean,
it's a great thing. But you can only stomach darkness for so long. And I'm not talking about Generation Z. I'm talking about the world.
Generation Z. Yeah, there had to be a pendulum swing.
Yeah.
Now we can't let it go too far the other way either. But I mean, there definitely had to be a pendulum swing. Mm-hmm. Well, let's kind of wrap it up. And let me. Okay. How can people? What's your Facebook? How can I get a hold of you?
Hey, so really, just the best way to get a hold of me, most people get a hold of me, is through our campaign page, which is on Facebook. It's Chris Redfearn for Miller County Judge. You can also email me. It's my name, Chris Redfearn1 at AOL.
Easy. Got that AOL, baby.
Yeah, I got that AOL. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But yeah, and we'll be out and about. We have the Republican meet coming up. We have the Church on the Rock.
I was about to say, are y'all going to be there?
Oh, I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, I'll be there as well.
Yeah, I'm flying home from California for that one. That'll be really exciting.
Yeah, and that's where we go to church too.
Okay, yeah, that's where I go to church as well. That's on the 20.
That's on the 21st.
Yeah,
at 6:30. The Republican is on the Republican meet and greet. It's not a Republican. The Republican meet and greet the meet and greet that's sponsored by the Republican Committee here in Miller County is on the 22nd.
Okay.
At 6:30 at the Convention Center in Arkansas.
Okay.
Then I'll be at the Doddridge candidate meet and greet this Saturday.
Okay.
And I have a meet and greet come up. I'll get you guys the details on that. But really, go to the campaign page. We have all our information out there. I've got my entire resume. I got my last 6. In the Army, if you have vets in your family, just ask them what an NCOER is.
Right.
It's a non-commissioned officer's evaluation report, and I got my last 6 just posted. I just cleaned out the DI numbers and stuck them out there.
Okay.
I've got plenty of questions off of them. Some people know what they are. Some people don't.
Right.
But you can read them. I've never not got excellent evaluations in 24 years. So I just didn't want to put 24 years worth out there because this document's just too big and people wouldn't.
Well, people aren't going to go through it unless they, have ill intent anyway.
Yeah.
So. Well, hey, Chris, I appreciate you coming in. Elizabeth, I appreciate you coming in as well.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck in this race, and then I'll be at the Church on the Rock event on the 21st. So
okay,
we'll see.
We'll be set up. We'll have a table set up. Be sure to come by and say hi, man. We'll, all right, have a good time.
Sounds
good.
good.
Appreciate you bringing us.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. I hope God blesses each and every one of you today.